Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle comic review of Journey into Mystery. This is issue 95. It's all the way back from August 1963, and this is 9 pennies in the UK. Marvel Comics Group, it says there, and Thor is facing Thor. Now it says 6D written there, conveniently right over there. But you've got a lovely scene there where two hammers are flying towards Thor. And I love the scene with the skyscrapers, etc. in the background. Great cover. Always love this issue. And it's completely weird, of course, the storyline, as always with all these ones, the Demon Duplicators. Not certain the title's really right. Surely it should be Demon Duplicator, since it's one guy with a duplicator device, which is never particularly fully explained. Where does the material come from to actually create these buildings and various things he creates? Also, Thor, of course. You can see, obviously, I'm not spoiling anything by there's obviously a twist where you've got an evil Thor and obviously the normal Thor as well. And he's obviously looking a bit, oh, it can't be. Zaxton's demon duplicate of me possesses 2 magic hammers to my 1. He has twice my strength and power. It's not actually explained particularly why he's got twice the strength, but however. But I love, obviously, someone has drawn over that for some weird reason. Oh, and I've ripped it a bit more. It's fallen to pieces. Like many of my comics, they're all very tatty condition. So over there you've got R. Burns. They're all Burns. I don't know how it's actually said. Joe Sinnott, of course, and S. Rosen. Lovely, put the credits. And always these things, I would have thought there would be a job code. I can't see a job code. That's very strange. Normally that period you would have had a job code. However, Odin was slightly odd in that period. It was sort of slightly different from the way Odin was portrayed later, but still you've got Odin there. And of course, what happens, he's obviously going off. How long will this thunderstorm last? For full 7 days, etc. At the end of the week, I will return. And obviously, well, I suppose it's useful if you need, obviously, a drought. Then obviously Thor's hammer is quite useful. Though I'd surely Odin would have had the power to create all that sort of stuff as well. And also, why did Don Blake create this android? The weird thing is, it's here. Zaxton is scheduled to demonstrate the strange android. The strange android. Well, why would you call him strange android when you're the one that invented him? However, slightly odd way of saying it. But you got Zaxton, and again, why didn't, I don't know, not particularly explained. A green android. Character that's obviously was not going to ever appear ever again, but still, you got him going forward. Would have been quite interesting. They could have kept that character. I don't know why they didn't, but you got him, Thor, obviously not doing very well against. Really? Would Don Blake create a creature that he knows he can't stop? You thought that Thor would have tested it and say, well, hang on, this is not good, because if it gets into... And also, of course, he's world's most complicated maths problems. Well, I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't make any sense. It will be invincible, all the souls. Why are you always thinking that evil purposes? Always for these things. Don't worry, if the android blows up, it will only in turn the etc. And always, I love the text stories as well. Always great. Record your voice at home. Only $6.98. Pretty good. I'm glad YouTube came along, obviously, with that feature. And you've got Zaxton, of course, being... he's got this duplicated device, a duplicated one. Yeah, but how does it work? What's that, that's ridiculous. I mean, that's just, you need to get the material from somewhere. Does it mysteriously, magically appear? But of course, you've got Thor, who obviously is a magical character anyway, so I guess. But anyway, duplicated Thor. He duplicates Thor, so he can do that as well. And also, apparently, under telepathic control. Did he test all these things? How did he know? Why it duplicates an object, blah, 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 under my telepathic control? Again, obviously, very clearly explained. This story is just still great. I love it. Absolutely brilliant. We've got Thor battling Thor. How many science fiction series where have you got characters that have got the evil Thor or obviously evil Kirk or whatever? Those sort of stories are always great. And this is obviously that equivalent. But he duplicates a building. Really? That's the thing you can think of? I'm going to duplicate a building so Thor crashes into it. That's just, he just crashes into, next second. That's not so great, is it? Hang on, what about all the people that were under that building at that point? I mean, I assume they were crushed. They were just walking along and suddenly a building appears on top of them. Were they duplicated as well? All the people inside? That's going to be hard to explain, isn't it? However, if you're running that company, you've then got twice the workforce. Are they all evil? That would be weird. However, I'm just being, what's his name on the story? And of course, you've got if he be worthy, of course, he's not worthy. We know that. So obviously, when he gets to spoil the story slightly. But however, great story. I loved it. Absolutely. I know I can pick holes. When I was younger, I would never have picked any holes in those sort of things. Oh, that was great. They duplicate this. But now you think, no, that just wouldn't work. What about all the air? Where did that all go? Suddenly, does it all suddenly, because of course you suddenly built a building there. Wouldn't that sort of create a bit sort of a sudden change in the atmosphere at that point would create a bit of everyone would be suddenly sucked off their feet or something, I would have thought. However, you got here latex toys, and this is a great one. I love Steve Ditko's work. Always great. But it's still sort of, you can pick holes in it. It's just daft story where he goes, you got this pharaoh, and of course it goes into the future. But I mean, why? Why would you? He's under threat. This pharaoh, sort of obviously got rid of this guy, and the artwork is superb, of course. Standard, brilliant Ditko. And I love the fact they also meant lettered by Art Semic. I'm not certain how it's said. But you got him obviously pondering what he's going to do. And then I have a master plan for my protection. He goes and puts himself in a deep hidden pyramid and with a sleep potion. Doesn't prepare a lot. Really? Sorry, you think that is a master plan? Really? You really should be thinking slightly better than that. However, he sleeps with deep stolen wealth. So and you can see the flaw in that straight away. And it's clearly a stupid thing. A newly discovered pyramid, of course. And just superb. I wake once more with all my treasure intact now for the revenge. Well, sorry, but surely all the people that you were fighting against would have been long dead. 5,000 years ago or whatever, 3. So I think really that is a plan that is really flawed. And you think, well, maybe things might have changed somewhat. I mean, even back then, they must have thought so. Things may change a bit. It wasn't going to stay the same forever. Likewise now. I'm going to sleep for 1,000 years and wonder when I wake up that everything will be exactly identical. That would be odd. Another great text story again. I love these text stories and I always love all the adverts as well. Most people loved poems. Poems wanted. Really? Okay, poems wanted. Musical setting, etc., etc. 1,000 magic tricks. Song ideas, etc. All great stuff. All those things. Save me from the lizard men. This is a Larry Lee. Now, I have to say his artwork was always a bit clunky. Even when I was growing up, I thought it was clunky. And now looking at it again now, very clunky. But it's still, I would say that, why these haven't been collected in omnibus editions. Maybe they have, I don't know. But it would be nice if this one's Journey into Mystery. Because they've done quite obviously lots of collections of Journey into Mystery, but I don't think they included these ones. The ones that were in the Thor stories. And it would be nice to have them all collected, even if they are slightly... And then it's a bit of a rubbishy end as well, the story-wise. But still. And you've got the usual adverts at the back. And this one, amazing new home training toy soldiers game. Toy soldiers again. $1.25. Actually, one I saw an advert recently. I just was looking, 1967, it was $1.95. Now it's $1.25, obviously back in 63. And of course, you've got this selling Christmas cards. Or name imprinted Christmas cards. Just lovely. I love it. This, of course, nice tatty edition. Whenever I see sort of tatty editions at comic conventions, they're generally very cheap still, luckily. And I think great, because I'm always happy with this. Coverless ones, perfectly reasonable as well. And, I'm not one for slabbed comics. Maybe one day you might see me do a sort of a review of a slab comic. Probably not anytime soon. So it's just this sort of tatty the better. Frankly, if it falls apart while I'm doing the review, so what? But this is a great little story, even if it's completely daft. This one, the Thor one. Of course, it's been reprinted. You can get a copy of it in Marvel Epic Collection, so it's worth checking out there. Also, the omnibus ones for Thor, etc., and probably elsewhere. Actually, they've recently just brought out, of course, a smaller version as well of these sort of Marvel Masterworks, etc. They look quite nice, actually. I've picked up quite a few of them. But I've got the stories already. I'm not going to get those as well. That would be... I'm not going to buy every single copy of everything. but you've got a great little story, and I loved it. So, Journey into Mystery, I love this thing. My star in Mighty Thor. Of course, at this point, Thor was not a sort of big headline across there in any shape or form, but Mighty Thor, someone has obviously decided, for some weird reason, to pencil that in. Star in Mighty Thor. And I love the old picture there with a smiling Thor. How wonderful is that? So, Journey into Mystery, really worth checking out. Issue 95.